The human brain, a wrinkled 3-pound organ, the color of a rain cloud, the command center, the seat of your consciousness. It's the source of every thought, emotion, memory, and dream. Responsible for everything you do, from breathing and blinking to solving equations and composing symphonies. How does it work, this biological marvel? Imagine a bustling city, a place teeming with activity and interconnectedness. That's your brain, a metropolis of billions of specialized cells called neurons. These neurons are the fundamental units of the brain, the building blocks of thought and action. Each neuron is a tiny information processor, receiving signals from other neurons, processing them, and then sending out new signals to other neurons. These signals travel along long, thin fibers called axons, which act like electrical wires carrying information throughout the brain. But how do these signals jump from one neuron to another? That's where synapses come in. Synapses are tiny gaps between neurons, and they act like bridges, allowing information to flow from one cell to the next. When an electrical signal reaches the end of an axon, it triggers the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters cross the synapse and bind to receptors on the receiving neuron, triggering a new electrical signal. This process of electrical and chemical signaling is happening constantly throughout your brain, forming the basis of all your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Imagine a whisper traveling across a crowded room, passing from person to person until it reaches its intended recipient. This is a simplified way to envision how neurons communicate. Each whisper is a tiny electrical impulse, a surge of energy that travels down the neuron's axon. These impulses are not solitary travelers, they move in synchronized waves like ripples on a pond, carrying information throughout the brain. The frequency and pattern of these waves determine the message being conveyed, much like the different combinations of dots and dashes in Morse code. At the synapse, the electrical whisper transforms into a chemical message. Neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers, are released into the synaptic gap, carrying the signal across to the next neuron. These neurotransmitters are like keys that fit into specific locks or receptors on the receiving neuron. The binding of neurotransmitters to receptors triggers a cascade of events, leading to the generation of a new electrical impulse in the receiving neuron. This complex dance of electrical and chemical signaling allows neurons to communicate with each other, forming the basis of all brain activity. Just as a city is divided into distinct neighborhoods, each with its own unique character and function, so too is the brain organized into specialized areas. These areas, while interconnected, have their own specific roles to play in processing information and generating behavior. At the back of your head lies the cerebellum, often referred to as the little brain due to its resemblance to the larger cerebrum. This region is responsible for coordinating movement, balance, and posture, ensuring your movements are smooth and fluid. Moving upward, we encounter the cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, responsible for higher-level functions such as thought, language, and memory. The cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres, the left and right, each controlling the opposite side of the body. Within the cerebrum, different lobes specialize in specific tasks. The frontal lobe, located at the front of the head, is the seat of planning, decision-making, and personality. Behind the frontal lobe lies the parietal lobe, responsible for processing sensory information from the body, such as touch, temperature, and pain. The symphony of movement. Every move you make is orchestrated by a complex interplay of brain regions. It begins in the motor cortex, where neurons fire commands to muscles. Sensory feedback from muscles and joints is sent back to the brain. The cerebellum fine-tunes movements, ensuring they are smooth and accurate. These brain regions work in concert to produce fluid movements. Section 6. A tapestry of experiences. Your brain is a master weaver, constantly taking in sensory information from the world around you and weaving it into a rich tapestry of experience. This tapestry is constantly being updated, as new experiences are woven in, and old ones fade or are reinterpreted. The journey of sensation begins with specialized receptors in your sense organs, such as the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These receptors convert different forms of energy, such as light, sound, and pressure, into electrical signals that can be understood by the brain. These signals travel along sensory nerves to specific areas of the brain, where they are processed and interpreted. For example, visual information travels from the eyes to the visual cortex located at the back of the brain, where it is analyzed for shapes, colors, and motion. Similarly, auditory information travels from the ears to the auditory cortex, located in the temporal lobe, where it is processed for pitch, loudness, and location. The brain then integrates information from all the senses, creating a unified perception of the world around you. Section 7. The Fortress of Feelings. Deep within the brain lies a network of structures known as the limbic system, the seat of emotions, memories, and motivations. This ancient system plays a crucial role in shaping our experiences and guiding our behavior. At the heart of the limbic system lies the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure that acts as the brain's alarm system, rapidly processing information about potential threats and triggering fear or aggression responses when necessary. The hippocampus, another key player in the limbic system, is essential for forming new memories, particularly those associated with emotions. It acts like a memory indexer, linking emotional significance to events and experiences, ensuring that we remember what is important. The hypothalamus, a tiny but powerful structure, regulates essential bodily functions such as hunger, thirst, body temperature, and sleep-wake cycles. It also plays a crucial role in the release of hormones, chemical messengers that travel through the bloodstream, influencing a wide range of bodily functions. The brain's inner artist. Imagine a world without language, where thoughts and ideas could not be shared, stories untold, knowledge not passed down. The human brain transcends this with its capacity for language. Language is processed in different brain areas, mainly the left hemisphere. Broca's area handles language production, while Wernicke's area manages comprehension. These regions work together to enable spoken and written language. The brain's language processing showcases its complexity and adaptability. It allows us to communicate, connect, and create uniquely. Section 9. The Power of Plasticity. The brain is not a static organ, fixed and unchanging throughout life. Instead, it is a dynamic and adaptable organ, constantly rewiring itself in response to new experiences. This remarkable ability, known as neuroplasticity, allows the brain to learn, grow, and change throughout life. From the moment we are born, our brains are bombarded with sensory information, shaping and molding our neural connections. As we learn new skills, from walking and talking to playing a musical instrument or speaking a foreign language, our brains create new pathways and strengthen existing ones. Even in adulthood, the brain continues to change and adapt. When we learn something new or have a novel experience, our brains create new synapses, the connections between neurons, strengthening the circuits involved in that particular activity. This plasticity is essential for learning, memory, and recovery from injury. It is a testament to the brain's remarkable ability to adapt to new challenges and experiences, ensuring that we can continue to learn and grow throughout our lives. Section 10. The Enigma of Consciousness. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the brain is the emergence of consciousness, the subjective experience of being, of having thoughts, feelings, and sensations. How does a collection of cells, firing off electrical and chemical signals, give rise to the richness of inner experience? This question has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries, and while we are still far from a definitive answer, neuroscience is beginning to shed light on the neural correlates of consciousness, the brain activity that is associated with conscious awareness. Studies have shown that certain areas of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex and the parietal lobe, are particularly active when we are conscious and aware of our surroundings. These areas seem to be involved in integrating information from different senses, creating a unified perception of the world. However, consciousness is not simply about processing sensory information. It also involves self-awareness, the ability to reflect on ourselves and our place in the world. This aspect of consciousness is thought to involve the medial prefrontal cortex, a region of the brain involved in self-referential processing. Section 11. A Universe Within. The human brain is a marvel of nature, an intricate and complex organ that continues to amaze and inspire. From the smallest synapse to the vast networks of interconnected neurons, the brain is a testament to the power of biological evolution. As we have journeyed through the brain, exploring its different regions and functions, we have only scratched the surface of its complexity. There is still much that we do not know about how the brain works, how it gives rise to consciousness, and how it creates the richness of human experience. But one thing is clear: the brain is a universe within, a vast and unexplored territory that holds the key to understanding who we are, where we come from, and what it means to be human. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the brain, we can be sure that we will make new and exciting discoveries that will deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.